Please click on the subscriber button and press the bell icon for latest technology videos.
Expert channel. Today we are going to learn about the use context. How we can use the use context in our React Native application, and how is useful the use context. So just I'm explaining that using two image example. So first is this image. We can see here is our app.js, and these are six classes A, B, C in alphabetic. So in our app.js, having a value is count equal to 0. So I need to read this value in count in A class, D class, and F class. Then first method is I will pass this value using the props in count, props in B class, B to D class, in C class, E to E, and E to F. Then we will see that B, C, and E class don't have any use of this value, but we are passing this value for next class. So this is a bad practice for passing up as a props. So in that case we use context. So use context is a context will create a environment on all of the our above the classes. So or that will hold our value, and using that value we can get anywhere in our applications navigation that use context value. So first we will create a use context class. In that we will create a use state of the use count, and using importing that class we can get that value in anywhere. So one is the value benefit of use context. We can get that value in anywhere, and also we can update that value from the child class. So if I need to update that value from the counter F class, so I can update from here, and after that I will go in class A, then it will be automatically show updated value. In props we have this disadvantage. So we will use context in that scenarios. So another is example is uh, this is my app component. In that I am having a user id. So I need to that user id in my various classes. So we can see here component D and C, and doesn't require the user id. So one is the I can pass that value using profs, but that is bad practice. So we will create a use context class in about our root navigation. So that will hold my user id value, and we can retrieve that value in various components that there we want to required. So in this example we will create a use context class, and we'll create a many navigation state. In that we will pass a value from the home, and we'll retrieve in various classes. Okay guys, let's begin in this.
For use context example, I have created some classes for saving our time in a video. So I have just created two stacks. In one stack one in that having a class ABCD, and another is a EFGAG, and also register these classes in my app.js. Here you can see I have import and given the class name. So now I will create a context. So I'm creating a folder context. In that I will create a class a context.js. So for use context we need to create a class. In that we will declare all our use states. That use state will work globally in our application. So first I'm importing. For use context example, I have created some classes for saving our time in a video. So I have just created two stacks. In one stack one in that having a class ABCD, and another is a EFGAG, and also register these classes in my app.js. Here you can see I have import and given the class name. So now I will create a context. So I'm creating a folder context. In that I will create a class useContext.js. So for use context, we need to create a class. In that we will declare all our use states. That use state will work globally in our application. So first I'm importing import react. Okay. Now I'm creating a object for the app context. So const app context equal to react key react context. This is our app context. So I'm just explaining one by one. Now I will create in a use context having a two part. One is app context part, second is provider. So provider will always provide value, context will store. So now I'm creating a class for a provider. In provider props I am declaring children's because all the classes will inherited by the use context. In our home class I have some created some changes. In for text input I have declared a use state. Inside will store value on runtime. On clicking on the update value in context, we will update in our context. So first we need to get a reference of our context. So I will import here our context, import app context from our class name context and app context. So this is our class. So here we will use context. Okay, now I am getting all parameter from the use context. So equal to use context, and here we will provide our class app context reference. So inside this we can see we can get our set counter. Okay, then I have just import my app context reference here and import use context here, and use context inside the provide our app context class reference, and also import to uh, our variable that we have declared as a use state in our app context. So we have declared both is app counter and set counter. Okay, now I am going in our class, and here I will update my value in set counter. Okay, now this will update a value of our text field inside my set counter. So I'm giving here 100 and updating. Okay, that is updated. So now I need to get that value in my f class. So same thing will happen here. I will import our app context app context, also import use context hooks, use context. Okay, now I will get all variable from the, so here I need to only counter equal to use context, and here I am importing app context. Okay, this is simply, now I am declaring here another text, and inside value of my counter is, here I am declaring just counter, and okay. So here I have given 100 100 value and updated in my use context, and this is in my f class. Then I will choose stack 2, and inside stack 2 this is e class, and inside the f class we have get the value. So we will see that value of my country is 100, and we didn't pass any props or any value from the one by one stack. That value will get from the here. We use set counter method in our home.js and use counter inside the our app class. Okay, now we are checking another example. Like I have updated, here is 200 and call update. Okay, now we again we will say here is a 200. Now this is a two-step stack, and now if we need to use same value inside the class D, then how we will use that? So I'm just copying paste for saving our time. Okay, same thing here, and from app I will get and paste here. Okay, use context. Okay. Here I write down counter, and now we will check same step for the stack 1 and on class D. This is B, this is C, and this is D. You can see here is also 200, and we will go back and we'll change this is to 300, and we'll update and go in. This will also update, and in our navigation stack 1 is also updated. You can see updated. That is a simple way for storing a local values in runtime application using the use context. I'm again describing in a sort of form. So first we will create a app context class. Inside we'll create a will create app context. Another class will be app provider. Inside the app provider we'll declare our app context and also declare children classes inside the app context, because that will be our right our lab our all the controllers. So this is that's why I passed the children here. Also we can pass our methods, like if I have created any methods here, const print value. I can also pass this method here, and I can call this method from anywhere in my all classes using the app context object. Okay, after that creating the app context, I have imported my app provider inside the my navigation root navigation, and here I have wrapped on the all navigation container my app provider, normally nothing else. After that I have just imported my app context inside my home controller, and here I have got two variables that declared in my use state. Okay, and after that for getting my value I will use same method inside. I can also here get a set counter. So I can also update value from here, and I can see that value will display in my will update in my all controllers and all classes. So that is a simple uh, use state example. This is a best hooks in the React Native that is used for the locally storing values in all over the application. Thank you guys. Please like our video, share our video, subscribe our channel, and keep supporting us for or please drop your comments in our comment box. I will try to help you in less time. Thank you.